Hello. Hi. Hi. So I'm C418. My actual name, though, is Daniel Rosenfeld. I live in Germany, and I made the music of Minecraft, and that's basically it. So what I want to talk about right today is the work of composers and how it usually happens. So what I'm gonna tell you right now is not a true story. It's a lie. It's just a fake thing because all of my composer friends, they have like NDAs and shit like that. So I can't tell you the actual stories. So this is just made up. Trust me. It's really just made up. So imagine you are like a really, really good composer. You've been in this business like 20 to 30 years. And you made a lot of film music, and you have like a huge roster of shit that you made. Oh god, this is cut off. Anyway, and basically you made music so long and you're so prolific that suddenly the games industry is interested in your stuff. So they basically reach out to you and say, well, we're gonna make like this huge AAA game, it's super big, and which we just wanna have your music. So the producer of the game, like, just checks out what the cool kids want to listen to and did some research, and they basically want you to make a shit ton of dubstep. And you are a classically trained composer that just makes film music. You don't know the slightest bit of dubstep, so you're like, oh, shit. But you already signed the contract and you already got the money, and they're like, we're like wrapping up really soon, and you have to give us this stuff really right now because we're going to E3 like in 2 days or something. Please give us music, and please go on. So you're like, shit, I guess I have to make fart sounds now. So you make your music. The stuff that is not dubstep is pretty nice because you're good at that stuff. And then you made like fart sounds, and they seem to be happy about it, but they go like, we need more. So but you're like, guys, I crunched for like 4 weeks now. I didn't have any sleep. I am in insomnia. I can't do anything anymore. That's over. So the producer of the game goes like, well, shit, we have this scene and we totally need awesome dubstep. This is good, but it's not good enough. So they go on YouTube, like type in like Skrillex, we have like this weed scene, and yeah, we need that. And they find the first song, oh yeah, that's perfect. And they go download it and put it in the game. Like the low quality YouTube version is in the game. This is the part where it's not a lie. This is actually happening. They downloaded the 240p version of the Skrillex song. Apparently they didn't have time to buy the actual song, but they had time to loop it. So I don't know what just happened. But anyway, this is Game of the Year and people are like happy and stuff. But I personally see just this huddled pile of composer goo mess that just had this really, really horrible experience of not having fun with your job and being forced to do something that you don't do. And I'm really like, that is horrible. Why do we do that? So fuck you game designers. We should. Okay, so here's the thing. Usually at talks, there's like one GDC guy, and he has like 10 steps to the successful game, and nobody listens to him because it's 10 steps. So I'm just gonna give you 3 fucking steps, and it's super easy to listen. So first step, get your composer as early as possible. And the thing about getting a composer early as possible is usually people ask me, where do I get a composer? That's so easy, seriously. If you play games, there's usually music in it. And usually the guy that made the music wants to make more music, so just try to do some research and ask him. Or like Bandcamp. There's like 100,000 people on Bandcamp, right? And they all have their email addresses in there, so just ask them. And the same goes for iTunes and the rest of the shit. Because there's no problem anymore to go on iTunes anymore. Right, that's the first step. The second step, you should talk about money right now. Like, as soon as you have the composer and your game is about to start work, if you don't talk about money instantly, you're gonna have a horrible relationship. And I'm gonna drop the truth on you guys because even in indie games, composers are underpaid. So, what happens usually is flat fee and the composer keeps the right. Well, mostly, I hope. And the standard in the industry is $1,500 per minute of music. So, and nobody gets that usually. It's like $100, maybe $100 per song. And that's bad. But the thing about it is, if you don't have the money to pay your composer, it is very easy to just do shares. For you, 10% is usually nothing of the entire game income. So, but for the composer, 10% is like $1 million. And if your game fails, he doesn't get any money and you don't have to pay him, so you should be fine, right? So why don't you do that? That just never happens. It's just so sad. Okay, step 3. You have to trust the composer, because in indie games and in AAA games, I always see that it's like the guy that makes the game, it's his dream, and he wants to have like complete control over everything. So he goes into GarageBand and does a shitty idea of a song and gives it to the composer and do that exactly like that. And the composer's like, oh, that's bad. If you trust your composer to make the music himself and just really trust him, he usually gives you something that you don't expect. And you will probably mostly be shocked, but if you realize that your composer is actually good, then maybe the game will be even better because of that. So trust your composer. And if you do that, you'll get games like these. All of these games have like one thing in common. They trusted the composer as if he would be actually a developer on the game itself. They actually hired him early and they gave him full control over what they are supposed to do. And all of these games have some of the best music around. And basically that's all I'm gonna say. I mean, in conclusion, enticing beginning, awesome message to have you. Chicken's right. Chicken's right. Thank you. That's it. So what I usually like to do is that you ask me questions, because I do not like to stretch out talks. So please ask me questions about anything. It doesn't have to do anything about this. It could be about my breakfast. Please ask me. Eggs and bacon. Berlin burger bacon is really bad. Are you going to get lunch soon? No. There's 2 songs that weren't my own, but everything else was mine. Cheers. Go on! We have like 12 more minutes.
Can you put more dubstep?
No, fuck you. Next, come on. AMA. No, I'm not rich. Next.
So the 10% thing.
Yeah.
That's really hard if you have to pay like 2 artists and someone who does.
Yeah, that's true.
30% has to steam. That's a lot of money. That's not.
It is a lot of money, but you have to consider all these people need money too, right? Yeah, but you are rich. You can actually pay them flat fee. So shut up. No, seriously. Usually 10% is actually very generous. 5% is usually already enough, and most composers usually ask for 5%. And then the best thing you can do is give them like the rights to the music, so they can actually get some money from Bandcamp or iTunes sales, and that usually helps a lot. Especially for me, because I get jack shit from Minecraft. Yo, still 10 minutes. As a composer, what you should do to make developers trust you. Be a good, talkative person, I would say. That's the thing. It's not about you. It's about the game developer. So I've seen it all the time. It's like one guy goes to the composer and says, "I want to have Call of Duty-like music in my chill game. In the main menu too, please." It's like has to be like 110% all the time. And you really have, as soon as you made the contract, you can do whatever you want. So you really have to step in and tell those people, seriously, guys, this is not gonna be good if you do what you think you want to do. I mean, like game developers usually give you like a general idea, And I think you should follow the general idea, but it's still your creative mind. You are the professional person in this relationship. So you should be the professional all the time and not just make dubstep. Unless you want to make dubstep, that's fine, I guess, but it's not, it's a fad. What is my process on making music? There is none. It's basically I wake up, read Reddit. I hate myself for reading Reddit, and then start making music, and then do like FM8 and or Absinthe and do the random thing, and that's it. Yeah, I guess. Let's see here. Well, we don't have any music connected, so I can't do anything. No, it's just a mutate button. For everything else? Well, the thing about making music for films is that you have a fixed video. You can actually synchronize stuff to it. Making music for games, it is completely unique because every game is different. Like some games are completely random and you don't know what to do. Like how would you implement, for example, Minecraft, because I fucking hate Minecraft, making music for Minecraft because it's so hard. For example, like people want to have battle music in the game, but battles in Minecraft last 8 seconds or less. And then they like exploit the monsters, so they have like a farm where they have constantly monsters and just kill them. So you can't make battle music because you don't know what the players are gonna do. And that's never gonna happen with film music or just a random album because it's all fixed, it's already there. You just have to make stuff for it and that's it. And in games, it's never like that. Except in Call of Duty where everything is scripted. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think the concept of title music also works in games?
Yeah, title music in games. I think title music is one of the things that works in films as much as it does in games because the title music has to draw you into the game, right? So, yeah, totally. Title music works in everything. Even in a book.
Because usually the process is like the developer comes and says that, okay, I need one loop for the menu and one loop for the music, so keep it basic and whatever.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
It's hard to convince for making a title music and carry the stuff.
Yeah, I think title music is one of the most important songs in a game actually, because usually it carries the theme song, and if the theme song doesn't work, what do you do with the rest of the music, right? Is that it?
What kind of information do you need from a developer or publisher to get started with making music?
The best information is basically actually just the prototype of the game. If you can play the game, like just play something or see something, that is mostly enough. We don't need much, we just need a general idea of the game. And if we have that, our mind goes crazy already and we can't sleep anymore, we make music. That's basically it. You don't really need much more than that. Yeah. Sorry, again? So your question is that if a composer should really start from the beginning, from the pre-production already? Yeah, maybe, or just after. If it's gonna be later, the game is already finished and the composer cannot contribute anything anymore. So it is probably the best idea for anyone that makes games to get a composer as early as possible because he can contribute to the whole idea, and he's also an artist that is usually, if you get the right one, is usually good. So if you get him in as early as possible, for example, in Swords and Sorcery, the game was basically made with the music in mind. So that is not usually the case, right? But I think if you get a composer early and get his ideas and understand what he's doing, the game can contribute, it's gonna be better in overall, right? It is not. Yeah, it's always a hard thing to say, but I think it is always better to get a composer super early. It Yeah, but yeah, if it's too long, it's not. Yeah, but you don't want your composer doesn't work all the time, constantly. It's not a full-time guy, but as like usually it like happens as soon as you have like main part of the work done. The composer comes back and sees what happens and contributes to that again, and that keeps on going. And it's usually an evolution of the game. It's basically like every other developer that works in a game, but just not in full time. But yeah, it is usually just a good thing to have.
Okay, I get the idea that casual gaming and mobile games give a bad impression of music is bad in games. So actually, it's a big challenge to strive through. So what do you think about it? Because most mobile games have very bad music, and so it's a difficulty for us to convince also the developers about it.
So you're talking about how it is usually hard, like most mobile games have shitty music, and all of the developers are usually the thing I told you about that they shouldn't do. Well, we can't really do anything about it because a lot of mobile games are from really crummy developers that just are out to make money. And if you have the chance to avoid people like that, totally avoid them because they are not worth your time. My favorite composer for games? Oh, that's a hard and personal thing to ask. Why is it closed? Open recent, this one. It's basically the picture right here. Up. Late. So, the first one is fast, Rich Wieland, Pixel Junk Eden by Bayon is a Japanese artist. Irik Circus, Spelunky, and your games. Devil May Cry, they had, what are you called again, Noisier and some Dutch hardcore rock band, but they got these guys super early before the game even existed, so they contributed to the entire concept, so it actually works super well. Dust Force, that is Swords and Sorcery in the corner. Proteus, Ed Key and David Kanaga, right there. Skyrim, the composer that usually does all the Elder Scrolls stuff, he knows his shit. And he has been working for them like for ages, so they're like buddy. Super Hexagon, Chipsel. The game actually was made in a game jam, so Chipsel worked directly with Terry Kavanagh to get it done. Super Meat Boy, Derek Barabanowski. I actually don't know what the guy is the name of the guy that made like the Rayman Origins music, but he actually works full time at Ubisoft, and he's brilliant. So Blocks That Matter, a Minecraft clone. Well, not really, but I actually don't know who the composer is, but he's brilliant. That's the real Texas. I still don't know who that guy is. I think no. He had some guy, but I don't know who it is. Bastion, obviously. Machinarium by Thomas Dorshak. Yeah, I think it's Dorshak. He actually also made the sound effects. Journey. Portal, obviously. What's this game? I don't know the name of this game anymore. And Zelda, obviously. Nintendo has like 3 full-time composers hired, and it shows because the music is always good. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm done actually. It's time. So thank you for keeping through.